What's up, guys? Welcome to the Crypto Savvy channel. I'm Craig, and we're going to be going over the charts and the markets, starting out with the Dow, moving on to the DXY, and then, of course, Bitcoin. We'll take a look at the bigger into the smaller time frames. And then after that, we're going to take a look at some older charts, my gold, silver, oil, and Tesla charts, and see how they're playing out in the macro and what to expect. I think they're giving us a lot of clues as to what's going on in the markets. I'm still bearish on traditional. I don't think we've hit bottom on Bitcoin. I'll show you why. Let's take a look. Also, make sure you scroll down, smash those thumbs up, leave your comments down below, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and share the videos. All right, let's take a look at what's going on. So right now, the Dow Jones, we are playing around in the golden pocket again. We got rejected at the 0.786. Will we pump into the rate hike decisions, right? That's going to be on everyone's mind. Everyone's talking about it. I think it's either going to be 25 or 50 basis point hike. And guys, you got to remember, even if the Fed pivots, right, if they go down to stop raising, that's when the markets really dump. So right now, there's just a bunch of euphoria in the markets. Looks like just a bull trap. This is what happens in bear markets, right? So let's take a look at what's going on. As you can see, we're in a rising channel on the RSI, probably going to roll over and come back down. Could we get another spike up today and into tomorrow, Wednesday? Maybe. We'll take a look at what's going on. I'm going to, like I said, in the macro, all my charts I'm going to show you at the end are showing massive signs of a bear market. Now, take a look at what's going on. We got hidden bearish divergence here in the Dow. Let's look at the DXY. So the DXY is still playing with this 0.5 fib, but you can see back over here, we never came down to test the 0.618 golden pocket zone down here. Now, if we did, that's going to be a rally for Bitcoin, and we will take a look at the bullish case targets, although I don't think they're going to hit, but if they do, I'll show you where those are if we cannot get back above the 0.5 fib on the DXY. But I do believe once we get above this, and right now it's at like 101.99. If we do get back above this and hold support, we're going to come back up and retest this 0.382 fib around 105. If that breaks, continue on up. You guys know I'm still bullish on the dollar in the long term. So let's take a look at the monthly. You can see the white trend line here on the monthly, right? We're making lower highs. As of right now, the monthly isn't closed. The monthly closes tomorrow. So if the monthly closes above the 23.3, that will invalidate the hidden bearish divergence right here. And remember, hidden divergence is a continuation of the trend. The trend is down. This is bearish. That is a continuation of the downtrend. But as you can see, we're also in a falling channel here. If we open and close above this, then we could still get another rally to the highs that I'm going to talk about when we get into the smaller time frames. But as of right now, a close below this 23.327 would validate this hidden bearish divergence, right? Let's take a look at the weekly. The weekly, the same thing. There's a bigger one here. If you look at this high to this high, we made a higher high. You can see on the white trend line, we made a lower high here. You can see how much the RSI moved here. That looks like a everyday trap, guys. Same thing, hidden bearish divergence on the yellow trend line here. We made a lower high and we closed our weekly. So that confirmed right here. Looks like hidden bearish divergence, guys. And there's that trend line at 24.3 again. That is our old high here. We have not broke this high with an open or a close above this high, right? So if we close above this, that will invalidate this hidden bearish divergence. But as of right now, we have not closed above it. So this stays intact. And it did close yesterday below. So that is a confirmation if you ask me. All right, let's take a look at some other stuff. This is another thing I wanted to show. This is the daily. There's a 200 EMA. You can see last time at 48,000, which was pretty much the same sentiment. You know, we got this rally here. Everyone got extremely bullish. Same thing here, but something you have to think about. The price back here, when this rally started, was around between 34 and technically you could say it started here because this was the low before the rally, around 37.5. It took a lot more money to move this, right? And that was about a $13,000 move. but it took a lot more money. Bitcoin was more expensive. It didn't take as much money here, right? So we started this rally, let's say at 16. We're now at 23. That's let's see, that's 16, 23, about $8,000 rally right here, right? Which is a lot less, took a lot less money than it took up here, and it still isn't getting too crazy. And you can see the RSI got really high. And let's take a look. Right now, if we look at the daily, it is showing some hidden bullish divergence on the daily right here, right? But the daily hasn't closed. We closed up here yesterday, right? So it wasn't showing. But what it was showing is hidden bearish divergence, or I'm sorry, bearish divergence, right? There was lower highs in the RSI, higher highs in the price action. That was hidden bearish divergence. So we expected a dump here. Right now, we're getting support on the 8 EMA, which is currently sitting at 22.9. Let's just say 23,000. If we break below that, the next support's going to be approximately 22.5. And then we have the 21 EMA at 21.6, 200 EMA at 21.2, 55 EMA at 19.7. But remember, we're going to take a look at this daily close. We really need to see how this closes, right? So if it does close with hidden bullish divergence, we might get one more leg up. No guarantees there. Obviously, you can see what happened back here. We got some hidden bullish divergence, and we just get a little comeback before continuing down, right? So just be careful with all the bullish sentiment. Bull market's here. I don't think the bull market's here. I still stick to my Amazon compared to Bitcoin theory, and we'll take a look at that, and we'll take a look at the invalidation point, right? My invalidation point has not changed in well over a year, so we'll take a look at that. But before we do, take a look at my sponsor, Prime XBT. Links down below. You can use my promo code Savvy50 to get you a $7,000 bonus. Savvy25 will get you 25% off your fees. You could trade crypto, forex, gold, silver, oil, S&P, Dow Jones, everything, all from one exchange. You can have multiple trades in, so you can hedge your trades without them clumping them all together. Definitely check it out if you haven't yet. Let's take a look at, I'll also leave a tutorial at the end of the video for you. So let's take a look at where we're at now. We broke this trend line. So if we get back above this today, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. So if we're above this 23,550 by the end of the day and get back above here and get support, then we can probably look for that one more leg up. Now we also have this downward trend line. We'll take a look at that in a daily. But if we were to continue down from here, we would take a measured move as long as we don't get back above that 23,550, right? This would be our measured move down to the 20,600, which also lines up with the 200 EMA. That's where I would expect a bounce, maybe a retest back up to here, 22.7-ish before continuing down if that was to happen. But you can see higher highs in the price action. This is a 4-hour. Lower highs in the RSI, right? That is bearish divergence. But again, we are showing signs of hidden bearish divergence here on the 4-hour. As you can see, we have lower low in the price action, higher low, or I'm sorry, in the RSI, higher low, just slightly higher low in the price action. So we are testing this trend line now. If we may stay up in here for a little while like this. We could even stay up here for a couple days before continuing down. So keep an eye on this trend line here. And that's just a trend line off of this wick and these wicks here. Actually goes up just a hair. There we go. It looks like we already tested it, but like I said, see how the day plays out. We can move this over a little bit now. If we close the day above the 23,553, we may be above this trend line, and then we get that one more leg up, which is a definite possibility. So we'll be keeping an eye on that. Now to look at, let's go to the daily and we'll look at our bullish. There is a super bullish target up at 31.5, and I'll show you how that comes. But first off, we need to look at this falling channel. If we raise above that, that also shows that 31.5. We are above it. If we can stay above this, now where is the bottom of this trend line? We would have to stay above 22.8. If we break 22.8, that becomes resistance. We're headed down to our 20.5. So if we break that, would probably be a good place to short. Put your stops just above in case you get a wick. But otherwise, if we can stay above this and hold support, then we look for that first target being that 25.8. Now that is our old high, or actually that's our weekly 55 EMA. That's where we've been talking about the invalidation point. We break this 25.81 or 25.8, then we've pretty much, and by breaking, I mean we need to at least close a weekly candle above that. We'll talk about that in a minute. But what happens if we go down to this 20.5, we come back up? Watch the RSI. That's going to be key here. If we break here, come back up to retest, we may make the RSI could come up here, make hidden bearish divergence while getting a lower high in the daily, and then come back down. But then we're going to be looking for around that 17.6 area. If that breaks, then we're looking for that 13.5 area, and then so on and so forth. You guys know I have much lower targets. We'll take a look at those. Here is the invalidation point right here, that 55 EMA, and that's around 25.8. Now remember, to really get bullish here, I would have to see an open and close, one weekly candle open and close above here. And then I'd be willing to say that the bottom is possibly in. But as of right now, I still think we got lower lows. This is a very old chart. We did not quite get to my 14.9, but I was expecting a bounce here. And you can see 25.8-ish. This chart is very old. We started this chart back here, actually prior to that. But back here, we were watching this rising channel where we got our bull trap to 48, which I think is pretty much what we're seeing now, just another bull trap, right? 25.8 is the invalidation point. But remember, you can get a wick above that and a close below. So I would need to see an open and close of a weekly above that to confirm that we have support on the 55 EMA. But remember, we break this, and we could actually raise this to our low, which was 15.4-ish. But I'm just going to keep it there because once we break that, I think we're headed down to that 75 to 9,500. I'm going to change that a little. It was 8,500. But as you can see, we have a high volume node right here around that 92, 95 range, 96-ish. So if this breaks, I expect us to go down to that 96, come back up, retest this area. If we can't break above it, then we go down to my ultimate lows in September, October of 38.5. Now, this is the .com compared to Bitcoin chart, right? We got a rally. We've got big rallies here where we did not get in here. So I think this stuff will just even itself out again, unless we break the 25.8. But I still think we're going to head down to these levels towards the end of the year. Now, if you guys remember, I had said the false bottom, after the false bottom, we'd break this weekly trend line. We did break this. So could this be the false bottom? It's possible. Either way, I still think we have another lower low coming in here before any real confirmation of the bottom is in, right? And that would be this RSI rolling over just like it did here, come down, make a new lower low. So could this have been the false bottom? Possibly. I'm not convinced of it yet because I like to look at the time frame, and this shows us sometime in March or April to bottom here. Could be as early as February, depending on what happens. But remember, when this thing decides to fall, just like it did over here, it falls hard, guys, very hard. This was a fall from 48.2 all the way down to 17. That was a $30,000 drop, guys. And this happened from March to June. March, April, May, June, 3 months, and it dropped $30,000. Be careful, because when these bull traps give in, like it did up here, when these top out and are ready to come down, they come down hard, guys. You're not gonna have time to rethink your trade if you're in a long. When these drops happen this big, a lot of, especially the sketchy exchanges, they don't catch your trades, and just be careful which exchange you're using. So anyways, that's what I'm looking at there. Here's our gold chart. This is about over 2 years old now. So we're looking for a possible ABC. Our C would get us down to 15.9. I think we're still going to get down to that range. As you can see, I also have a This would be in the bullish case, get down here, and that'd be the end of the bear market and continue on up. But as you can see, I think we're probably, there's a good chance we break this, and this just could be a wave 1, 2, 3 would get us all the way down to about 1200. But our main support here, if we break the 1559 area, is going to be around this 1432, and that's just a long-term trend line from all the way back here, right? So just something to keep an eye on, guys. Like I said, I think the traditional market's still looking bearish. I think we're witnessing the biggest money grab in history. I've said it for years. So as you can see here, we still have our target down here, 15.6 for silver. If it gets really bad, $7. Right now, we are just making. We dropped out of this rising wedge here. I think we have a lot further down to go. As you can see, we're getting rejected at the 0.5 here. Not looking very bullish, guys. And let's take a look at oil. Oil, this is also an old chart. This is about 6-7 months old, right? So when we broke back here, actually about 6 months old, I told you watch for the retest of this falling or rising channel. We retested it. Our next target's down here around this $62. I see it possible to go as low as 26 if we break that 62. But this 62 would be a good place for it to bounce. So this target has not changed. Sorry, guys, my phone's ringing. There you go. Probably the electricians or someone. I'll probably have to run out to the house. But anyways, that's what I'm looking at with that. Tesla, we did hit our $100 target. Well, ours was 106. We got a little below. Now we came up here. We blew through this 0.786 fib again, right? But we got retesting the golden pocket zone and got rejected. Now let's take a look here. What do we have here? We have higher highs in the RSI, lower highs in the price action, hidden bearish divergence in a downtrend. Looks like this rejection is going to hold, guys. Come back through. Watch for support at the 151. Once that breaks, I think we come retest this 106 again. Maybe bounce around on it for a little while. Once that breaks, $50 for Tesla. I was calling this a long time ago, and people thought it would never happen. As you can see, it's happening, guys. As high as the highest I see this going, if we can break back above this 183, is 211 and then come back down. So there's great short opportunities in here. I would not buy Tesla. My opinion, none of this is financial advice, but I would not buy Tesla for long term yet. I would be looking for at least back down to the 100 to test that, but probably between 50 and $100. And that's it. Thanks, guys, for watching. Don't forget, subscribe to the channel, smash those thumbs up, leave your comments down below. Let me know what you think. For those of you that stuck around for the whole video, put in the number 1 in the comments at least if you haven't left a comment, so I know who watched till the end. Thanks again, guys. Don't forget to check out these videos up here. The .com bubble I talked about since December 2nd, 2021, and Prime XBT tutorial. Definitely check it out, and I'm out, guys.